Hello, my friends. Welcome back. How was your weekend? Come on, let's go read the inspiration for the day. My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you want it to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can handle. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you. This is my wish for you. That's Michael James Anderson. Y'all ready to see what I've been up to? Meet Whiskers of Faith. Yes, I named her. Okay, this is the kitty head that I done in video 180, and it snapped in two when I was demolding it. So I told everyone that I would finish this off, and this is what I decided to do. We're going to use these alcohol inks here, and it's the same ones that I used to create the kitty head. And then I decided to use this Let's Resin mold here that I'm spraying the alcohol into now. And it's a mold that you place a light in the center, but we're not going to place the light inside of the mold in case the light was to ever go out, then you could replace it. So we're going to put it on the outside of the mold in case that was to happen. I put a little bit of resin inside of the mold there, and I made up 80 mils of resin. And I'm just pouring a little bit in, and then I'll use my heat gun and pop any surface bubbles, and then I'll pour some more, and then we'll drop the inks in. The colors that I chose, like I said, they're the same ones I used for the kitty head. I will go ahead and tell you the colors though. I'm using blue cerulean, peach red, dark orchid, and a sinker white. And those are all Let's Resin alcohol inks. They have a 48 count kit that is fabulous if you love working with alcohol inks. And you get a lot of different colors in that kit. I'll list it in my description box if anyone's interested. And if you use my code, I get a little discount, and so do you. But you have to purchase it through Let's Resin's website in order for me to get the kickback and you to get the discount. Okay, let's go ahead and pour in some more resin. I'm going to spritz a little bit of alcohol before we pour in our next layer. And something was in there, so I just picked it out right quick. Probably a little dust bunny. And I like to pour in layers if I'm pouring something, you know, bigger than about 40 mils. And this is 80, so I went ahead and poured it in layers. Okay, let's go ahead and use the heat gun and pop any of those surface bubbles. And then let's go ahead and get some inks dropped in. I have a little bit of resin left in the cup, and I think we'll go ahead and pour that over some of the inks to make them drop a little bit better. Okay, I'm using that dark orchid. I really wish I would have chosen something a little bit lighter than this, but I had to stay in the same with the same colors as the kitty head that I already created. So I just went ahead and kept the same exact colors. Now I'm dropping that sinker white right on top of the dark orchid. Okay, now let's get the cerulean, and I'm going to drop a few drops of it in here, and then we'll follow it with the sinker white. And I take a little pause in between to give the inks a little bit of time to spread before I drop the sinker white on top of them. Okay, now I sped the video up a little bit because all I'm doing is dropping the inks in right now. And I dropped the peach red in after that cerulean, and now I'm going to go in with the sinker white on top of it. And I'm just giving the inks a few seconds to spread. And then we'll go ahead and drop in some more. And I'll continue that until I get the inks that I'm pretty much satisfied with before we go ahead and pour some resin on top of that. Okay, now let's go ahead and drop some more inks. And I'm just fluctuating in between all the colors. Now I'm going to take my little tool here, and I'm just going to make a few twirls in the resin and then get on out. Okay, I'm going to drop in a little bit more of the sinker white. And now we're going to follow that with the rest of the resin. Well, I have a little bit left. Let's go ahead and use the heat gun, move those inks around a little bit. Okay, now I sprayed a little bit of alcohol on it. And now we're going to go ahead and drop in some more ink because I'm seeing a little bit of transparency through it. So I'm going to go through the colors one more time and then follow it with the sinker white. And then I think that'll be just enough. Okay, now we're going to follow it with the rest of our resin. And then we're going to use the heat gun to spread the inks around and pop any of those surface bubbles. Spray a little bit of alcohol. And now I sped this part up right here, and I'm going to talk you through it. Okay, I'm getting a piece of cellophane, and I'm going to spread it out on this plate here. And we're not going to worry about the ripples in it. We'll take care of those later. Now I have some crushed glass here, and I chose a color that is like a lavender to match our cat. And I'm just pushing that glass back towards the edge. Okay, now I got some glitter here, and it's on the lavender side as well. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little tiny bit of it as I turn the plate and get it all over the crushed glass. I'm still wondering if I should sprinkle some of this in the center as well. Let me still think on that, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? I love this glitter. Okay, and I'm just going to hold my cat head up to this, and I think that's going to match perfectly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of that glitter in the center too. I absolutely love this glitter. It stays suspended in resin as well. Right where you put it is right where it stays. I'm going to put a picture in the left or the right hand corner to show you which glitter I'm talking about. Okay, I think that's enough. And next I'm going to grab a skewer stick, and I'm just going to spread that glitter around because I don't want any clumps on the plate. I want to make sure that it's spread out evenly on the center of the plate. And I'm making sure I don't poke a hole in that cellophane too. Okay, now I have some resin here, and I have the dark orchid, and I'm going to put 1 drop in there. Oops, 2 drops got in there. We're going to have to sift some of that out of there, you guys, because I don't want it that dark. But I have 30 milliliters of resin in this cup, and that's all you need for what we're going to be doing. Okay, I dipped a little bit out of there, and let's go ahead and stir that up, and hopefully that won't take away too much resin from our project, because you really need 30 milliliters of resin. Okay, I'm going to scrape the side of my cup there, and then I'm going to make sure I get that stirred in really good. Now I'm going to spritz a little bit of alcohol into the plate. And I'm using 91% of alcohol if anyone is curious. Now we're going to go ahead and pour that resin onto the plate. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and scrape my cup, get the rest of the resin out. I'm not going to really worry about any bubbles because we poured that layer so thin that I'm pretty sure those, if there's any bubbles there, they're going to go ahead and rise to the top. And I'll make sure I go around the plate and be sure to check it and make sure there's not any pesky bubbles trying to hang on to the plate. Now we're going to take care of those ripples that you see in the center of the plate. I'm just going to tug on that cellophane just a little bit and get those ripples out. You don't need to pull on it much, just enough to get the ripple out. Okay, now we're going to go around the plate again and we're going to make sure that the cellophane is dropped evenly back into the plate. You don't want it to be lifted on any of the sides. That way the resin can be evenly spread out onto the plate, if that makes sense. Okay, now I'm just taking my popsicle stick and I'm just moving the crushed glass around, making sure that it's right where I want it onto the plate. Okay, now everything looks pretty good. We're going to spritz a little bit of alcohol and I'm just checking things out, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Now I have some pretty lavender roses here. We're going to snip off just the rose and leave the stem. Right like that. And it's okay if you snip off too much of the stem and your rose starts to unravel. That's okay. Just dip it in the resin and push it down into the crushed glass, and the resin's going to cure it and it's going to be fine. Okay, we're just putting it right in the center of those rocks. Not completely to the edge of the plate, just right in the center of the crushed glass, not rocks. I don't know why I keep saying rocks. Okay, and I'm just going to keep moving along like that until I get the entire edge of the plate filled with roses, just leaving a little bit of a space in between. Okay, now I'm going to go around the plate and I'm going to situate my roses. Your roses don't have to be the exact same distance apart from each other, so don't fret over that. It makes it look more authentic. Okay, I think my roses look pretty good now. I'm not going to fret over them anymore. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cover them. Now I'm back an hour later, and we're going to go ahead and drop some of this beautiful glitter in the center. I'm going to cover the whole center with this glitter. And the reason I waited an hour later is because I don't want the glitter to start floating around into the resin. I want it to stay right where I put it. So that's why I waited, about an hour or so later, because the resin is a little bit, more cured, and it's going to stay right where I put it. And the reason I'm like sprinkling it is because I don't want to get clumps, in one spot. Okay, now I'm going to take one of my little spoons and I'm going to pat the glitter down into the resin, and that's going to just ensure that all of the glitter gets into the resin. Okay, we're back. And I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. So I picked the piece up out of the plate and placed it onto this. And then I realized I wasn't filming. So I put it back in the plate and then put it back over the little piece so you guys could see every step that I took. Okay, we're just going to throw it over this little thing that I made and fan the dress out and get it to exactly how we want it and then let it cure. But I ended up making a hole in this dress, you guys, because I guess I pulled it too much. So I ended up having to make the dress over. Now this piece isn't cured yet, but I'm going to turn it over and place our dress on top and see what it looks like before I start making the other dress. Okay, now let's put the cat head on top. I think that's going to work perfectly. And I made another dress the same exact way that I made this one. I didn't film that part, but I made it the same exact way. The only difference is I pulled it off of the plate earlier than I did this one. So it was a little bit easier to work with. But this is not the dress we're going to be using. You can't see the hole that I made in it yet, but I made a hole in it. Okay, I'll see you guys back when it's time to demold this piece. Okay, we're back. Are y'all ready to see what this piece looks like? I know I am. I hope those alcohol inks look so pretty inside. Okay, here we go. Oh my, it's beautiful. We've got to take the camera down and look at it, you guys. Okay, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I love it, love it, love it. What do you guys think? Do you think it's pretty? Oh, I could get lost in this. Let's look at it from the side. It turned out so pretty. Yay! Okay, I'm going to push that to the side. And now I'm going to show you how I take the cellophane off of underneath the dress. It just pretty much pulls right out of there. But don't start taking it out too soon or you won't get it out. Been there, done that. And I'm here to tell you it doesn't work. Okay, I got a clear cup out and we're just going to throw this dress over that clear cup. And you can also use a cup to make this underneath the dress. You don't have to make a special piece to go underneath the dress. But I'm going to make a special piece to go underneath the dress so that it will show you two ways that you can make it. Okay, let's go ahead and put the dress on top of here with the cup and then put the cat head on top. And that works perfectly if you want to go that route. Now let's get the light out here that goes with this mold here. You can buy extra lights if you want, but it will come with a few if you buy the kit. Okay, and I'm just going to take my Gorilla Glue here, and I'm going to drop some of the glue. I'm going to put a hefty amount down in here. And the reason I'm doing it this way is in case this light goes out, you'll be able to snip it out of there and place another one in there. Okay, I'm just going to situate it in the middle. And then I'm looking for something I can place on top of it until it dries. Okay. I think I'm just going to grab the cat head. Now I'm going to sit her right over that until it dries. Now here's the other mold that I have that we're going to create to go underneath the dress. See, the cat head will sit on top and the dress will sit on top of this piece. All this is a candle mold. We're going to use the same glitter to put inside of here because remember I was telling you that it stays suspended in the resin. Okay, I have 80 mils of resin here. We're going to put some of that glitter inside. Stir it up. We want to go slow because we don't want to incorporate any more bubbles into the resin than we have to. I'm going to put my stick down into the mold, and I'm going to let that resin ride down off of the stick to the bottom of the mold. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop right quick, put a little bit of heat on it, pop any of those surface bubbles, spritz a little alcohol, and then we're going to keep going. Okay, now I'm going to take my heat gun. We have filled the mold. We're going to heat it up, pop any of those surface bubbles, spritz a little bit of alcohol. And now I'm going to get out my little bow box here. I make lots of bows and I put them in here. So that way, when I'm doing a project and I need a quick bow, I can go in here and grab one. There's usually 2 or 3 of each in here. So I'm going to just dig through here and see which color will look best on our kitty here. Okay, that color's not going to work because that's lavender on top of lavender or purple on top of purple, whichever way you want to look at it. Okay, I'm going to grab a black bow and a silver bow. It's going to be one of the 2 of these. I'm just trying to find a match to both of these bows. Okay, there's our silver set. Now all I need is a matching bow for our black set because it's going to be one of these 2. We'll put them on our cat head and check it out and see which one we like the best. Okay, there we go. We have matches. Now let's put the silver pair on, see how we like it. Okay, there's the silver pair. They're very sparkly. And her dress is very sparkly. So that may not be a good decision. Let's put the black ones on. Okay, I'm really liking that matte look that they have. They're not super shiny. They're not super sparkly. So I think I'm going to go with the black bows because I think she's just got way too much sparkle going on already. Now I'm going to take my UV resin bonder here by Let's Resin. Okay, and I'm going to drop a little bit on her ear here on each side. Drop that bow on and cure it from the side and the back because her ears are see-through, so that will cure it right up. You've been lost and alone in the city lights I'm up. Getting hot, feeling low, and it's out of your control. You should know that. Okay, what do you guys think? I think that looks precious. Let's take a look at the back. Yes, that's gorgeous. Okay, now it's time to demold the piece that's going to be underneath her dress. Now this is a tight squeeze, you guys, and my carpal tunnel is really bothering me in my right hand, so I'm going to opt out for my oil here. I'm going to squirt a little bit down inside the mold. Okay, I'm going to fold it back up, and then I'm just going to rub it into the piece and the mold, and just keep twisting it and twisting it until I get that oil all throughout the mold. Okay, now I'm just going to try to push and roll until I get it up over that. Okay, I got it up over that hump. Now we got one more hump to go. My fingers are oily. Okay, there it is. And this is really a candle for a candlestick. And I'm just rubbing that oil into my mold. And then I'm going to flip it back the right way and it's ready to use next time. Close my oil up and let's take a look at our piece. Isn't that magical? Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. Look how that glitter stayed suspended in there. And y'all seen me, I poured it in one pour. So beautiful. Okay, here's the new dress, you guys. And I had a cup underneath it, which is perfectly fine to use. This dress turned out gorgeous. And it's cured. Let's slide it on top of our piece. Put our cat head on there. Oh, she's looking cute, y'all. Look at Whiskers of Faith. Okay, now we got another issue. We need to make a slit in the bottom of this piece so that it can sit down just like that over the wire to our light. So I took it to the garage and I came back after I used one of my husband's tools and I made a slit in it right there. See there? Now it's going to fit right over our wire comfortably. Right like that. Okay, are y'all ready to put Whiskers of Faith together and light her up? Okay, let's slide her dress on. Put her head on. Here she is. She looks stunning. Oh, you guys, I can't wait to make some more of these. This turned out so cute. Look at that glitter just dance. Look, she knows she's pretty. Okay, let's turn the lights out and take a look at her. I'm going to plug her up. Okay, here she is, you guys. And I love how the colors go from, you know, green to blue to pink to white. It's beautiful. Look at that bottom base. Isn't that so pretty? But if you put a clear cup underneath her, the light is going to shine through the same way. So you can use a cup too. You don't have to make a special piece to put under her like I did. But you can if you want. You know, it's all about what you want, you know. But I think this turned out so pretty. And when she initially broke in half, I was thinking, you know, how could I make a dress to put underneath her? And then I thought, well, she won't have any arms. And then I got to thinking about it and I said, well, when I made my ghost, they didn't have any arms either. So that's why I went the same way that I made the little ghost. You know, I went the same way and made the dress. So let's go ahead and take this glue here and I'm filling that area up with glue. And then I'm going to place it over the top the top of her dress. And then I'm going to leave her alone and let her dry. And I may check that later and see if I can pull it off. And if I can, then I'm going to resin it. But here she is, you guys. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are on this. It's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you tomorrow. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends. Feel it sinking in.
lost and alone in the city lights. I'm up, getting hot, feeling low, and it's out of your control. You should know that I won't leave you. I'll stay beside you. I'm never letting you go. You've been lost and alone in the city lights. I know, but I will guide you home. But I will